Okay, Henry, get ready.
But 5 lights are in the air.
Go, go,
And
go.
we're away for the
Right.
Italian Grand Prix, and it's a great start by Vosdika from the
Still
front
there.
row. It's going to be a
Car
smoking
right.
Netrex in the background, a couple of smoking cars, but Vosdika to the inside.
Still there.
It's going to be
Clear
Kaz
right.
Reitfeld trying to have a look, follow his teammate through.
Car
There is a
right.
big crash in the background.
Jesus.
That is multiple cars.
Hold
That's
your
2
line.
Royal Blues, a load of TCS offs.
Clear right.
Car rejoining unsafe in the background. I think that was Rainey.
Got a
I'm
tiny
not
bit
sure
of
though.
bodywork damage there,
Almeida
just
on
right.
his roof. A couple of cars without rear wings. There is a big crash. And this is what we were worried about coming into this
Almeida
race.
is now retired.
Almeida already out, but up the front. Dan Vosdika looking to try and get past Lot 6 to the inside of the Roja. Not going to work there. Kaz Reitfeld there having a look as well. Cynic, Lombart's 5th still, but Reitfeld up into 3rd place already. He has got himself moving. That's what he needs to do to keep that title fight going and not lose any points to his teammate and title rival. Just trying to have a look at who was involved in that crash and how many of them are lost front wings. So Paulie Allen was one of them. Miguel San Mateo has lost his rear wing. Kumar is out of the race, and Almeida's out of the race. So I apologise. It wasn't Rainey. It was actually Paulie Allen. As we come towards the end of the first lap, the slipstreaming is underway, and I can see in the background that Adam Rainey is actually up into 10th. He's on the soft tyres now. That is going to work out really nicely, really weirdly for him, because maybe he can push that to the end. Maybe he can actually get a soft, ultra soft strategy to work, especially with being, you know, that rubbering in track coming towards the end of the race. But everyone nice and stable at the moment. There's a couple of moves being made in the background because Thomas Lentz is trying to have a look at Balascalia for 16th, 1 second window already.
22.2. Mateo.
As it comes towards turn 1, that's Lombart's with a dive on Henry Cynic into turn 1. Oh, it's going to be contact. They're going to get through the corner, and Lombart's going to have to drive. That is Michael Wilson going across the anti-cut there. But Lombart's really trying to get past Cynic. He knows he needs to get past him early on. If he wants to make this strategy work out, he's going to go to the right. And he's going to outbrake him on the outside. Beautiful, but he's going to run slightly wide. He's over the curb. The car gets unsettled, and he's now going to have his teammate to deal with on the outside. Wilson, though, knows his teammate's fighting for a championship, so doesn't want to get too involved.
I think he's a bit closer than he was the previous lap. But again, not closing in enough to really make a move.
Felix, meanwhile, at the back. Tom Lombart's to the inside of Henry Cynic. Pulled out. Sorry, I saw this in the background. Because this is obviously title implications, this is allowing Lombart's to close back up to the back of his train. Otherwise, we're going to Singapore with it being 2 left and the 2 teammates. As Lombart's is in on lap 9, and in comes his teammate Wilson. They're going to double stack.
Well done,
Reitfeld responds to Wilson and Lombart's, and that was very close to being over the pit limit. Pit limit there as Reitfeld stops in his box. We'll go on to a set of the medium tyres. Henry Cynic comes and joins him in the pit lane and goes on to the soft tyres, Felix. Now that's the first ultimate crash we've seen all day.
Yeah. Still 22 laps to go. It's a bold call.
Oh, hold on a minute. Now, Kaz Reitfeld comes out of the pit lane. He's going to be drag racing with Andrzej Boratowski into turn 1, and this could be crucial because it means that Lombart's, who is not that far behind, will be right with him. They get out, obviously, ahead of Henry Cynic. But Reitfeld has got Tom Lombart's, and, well, he's smoke screening Tom Lombart's, I should say. But he has got the Netrex of Boratowski, who is on the medium tyres, remember? Now, if I remember, he started on them, so Andrzej is going to go for a long, long time yet. And Wilson is having a look at the back of Henry Cynic. Now, obviously, Wilson a lot closer to Cynic than he was before the stops. And, well, both drivers make a mistake, but yes, Kaz Reitfeld to the inside of Boratowski!
Okay, Henry.
And that is going to be close indeed. They thankfully get out of it. And that's going to be Lombard trying to find a way. They're going to be side by side through the second Lesmo. That's not going to work. That's going to allow Lombard side by side. They both have the DRS. Who's going to be in the slipstream? It's going to be Kaz Reitfeld. Reitfeld's going to push Lombard as far to the outside as he can, because he knows that Lombard is going to have to sit behind Boratowski. Boratowski half-heartedly defends. And it's going to allow Reitfeld to be held up, and it's going to allow Lombard to have an insane run on the exit of Ascari. Has to back out of it because there's no room to go on the left.
I'm on softs and everyone around
they
me
have got Henry Cynic and Michael Wilson, who's gone off. Wilson's gone off somewhere. Lombart's into the back of Boratowski. And there's Cynic on the outside. Where the hell is Michael Wilson in all of this?
Yeah, same
Still
for me.
Wilson's out.
Rejoining
So
in
Wilson's
front.
had a big accident somewhere, but Lombert's
Still
is
there.
side by side. This is crucial for the championship, remember, ladies and gentlemen.
Still there.
They are side by side. They both have a DRS. Bonatovsky trying to have a look at
Hold your
Kazarivo.
line.
He goes to the inside in the net race. The net race with extremely
Still
high
there.
top speed to turn 1. He's going to get
Still
refund. He's
there.
going to go across chicane. He's got to give that place back. That was gained
Still
unfairly.
there.
Lombert's and Cynic side by
Clear
side though.
right. It's fine,
Bonatovsky
mate.
lets
It's just a
Rifeld go.
scrape.
He might have a look going into the second very anti-chicane. But Tom Lombert's looks to the inside of Cynic is not going to work through Curva Grande. He might want to have a look to the inside of the very anti-chicane. Rietveld has got a gap on Borodovsky though.
Right side.
And Lombert's on the grass on the outside of the very
Clear
anti.
right.
He's going to have to go straight on, rejoin the track. And he's going to drop behind Cynic. He's going to drop behind Karchvich. So he's going to drop down to 13th place. This race not going well for him at all.
Yeah, Tom a bit impatient every time, trying to go for the gaps on the outside or the inside that are really not quite there.
The leader is pitting now.
Really what he should have done is just wait a little bit and then on the straights try to get alongside and then make the move instead of trying to get something done in the braking or under the acceleration.
Oh, something interesting as well, Felix. Zux and Woznica are in. Zux has come out in P5 and Woznica is on the medians, whereas Zux is on the soft tyres. This is going to be close on the exit of the pit lane because Jan releases the pit limiter. Off he goes. He is going to be coming side by side to turn 1 with Zux. But no, Zux is going to get through. He might actually get past by Danny Robbins as well. He is going to get past by Danny Robbins as well. Meanwhile, Balascariar goes to the inside of Van Elfen. And Bonatovsky and Cynic are side by side. Oh, there's almost contact there as Tom Lomberts gets past Jacob Karchevich. And now Lomberts has got to get past both Bonatovsky and Cynic once again. You can see Milan Rajovic, he's made a pit stop as well. So is Matthew Susan. These guys all out of place in terms of the pit stop cycle at the moment because a lot of people running alternate strategies. Meanwhile, Cynic has a look behind Bonatovsky.
Oh, you
He's
brake
gonna lock up and
early.
Lomberts into the back of him.
The hell?
And over the curb he goes. Karchevich does the same. He's going to drop a place to Indrek Remitz and Milan Rajovic. Susan not going to get by though. But this is what happens at Monza. You get your braking slightly wrong. You're into the back of someone pretty quickly.
Lombards is just a bit too impatient at the moment, trying to gain too much under the brakes, too aggressive on the brakes, where you really have to be careful and make sure you get a good exit. The entry doesn't matter so much because you know that the driver in front of him is very slow in the corners. Borodovsky with the old medium tires.
And he's just proven that as well because Cynic got very loose on the exit. This slipstreaming train is going well. There's Cynic. They're going to potentially go through him. No, too wide into the final quarter of Parabolica. Cynic to the outside. The grip is not going to be there because the car's going to run out wide.
Still there.
Lombert's going to be in that slipstream. Going to have the DRS. And you've got Inject Remix, Milan Rajovic and Jacob Karchevich there as well. Lombert's with the DRS and the slipstream and the boost. It's going to push that Go Speed car. He has to back out because he gets squeezed by both cars. And Rajovic dives to the inside of Galliard. Very last minute indeed. Oh, sorry, not Galliard, that's Remitz. Tucson is there as well. You can see him squirming about in the background.
P7 is now
But these guys all fine for P8, and half of these guys haven't even stopped yet. But there we go, Cynic. Cynic darts to the left. He's on the soft tyres. He's wearing those soft tyres out. He's going to go to the side of the very end of the game. This is potentially going to open a slot for Lomberts to look through on the exit. Meanwhile, further up front, Tom Lomberts on the DRS of Henry Cynic. He's getting closer. He's going to maybe have a dive. He's going to have a dive to the outside of the Drillers, who breaks extremely early into turn 1. He's going to hold the place, though, is Henry Cynic. But Lomberts is definitely quicker at this phase of the race. He's got Remitz and Rakovic not far behind. So obviously, pulling away from those guys and getting onto the back of Henry Cynic. He needs his 4th place. But it won't be enough to keep that title fight alive, I don't believe. I think Cameron could potentially do the maths for me and just tell me and work that one out for me. But at the moment for these two, this is hypercritical of who finishes ahead, especially in terms of Lomberts. Because he's not far behind Rietveld in the grand scheme of things. But again, he'll have the DRS coming down towards Ascari on the boost as well, most likely. Trying to keep himself as close to the back of that Driller's motorcar as he can. Both these guys been driving amazing for the entirety of the time they've been racing this season.
Blue flag, blue flag.
Back marker ahead, I believe that is Dehendren. Which it is. So these guys potentially might get slipstream off of him into turn 1, depending on how slow he is out of Parabolica, which looks to be pretty slow indeed. Lombert's not really getting a run out of the final corner though, which is the problem.
That was a 123.0.
DRS for the go speed with the boost and the top speed.
You're 0.2 off the pace in sector 3.
Cynic just does what he needs to stays in the middle, and Lambert's just not able to make anything work. Again, the same is said between Tusen Batala and Yelitalo. No one able to really, make a difference at the moment.
Hey Henry, hold your nerve, just keep it
in this
smooth.
race.
I
So-
think he's you're giving me
Still
slipstream right
potential for Tom to stay in this title fight, but it's going to be extremely hard. It'll be 75.5 points to Kaz Rietveld at this rate. So realistically, I don't think he'll be able to do it if he finishes where he is at the moment. Or it'd be a monumental mountain to climb, but these guys have got traffic in front of them. It's going to make it even harder for Lamberts to get through.
now. Yep, I'm going to get
The
DRS
is
as
going to be
well.
with Cynic. Although Van der Hende gets out of the way. Will he get out of the way before the DRS line? Yes, he will.
Right.
That's going to
Sector
mean
2
that
is
Cynic doesn't have
0.5 off
DRS.
the pace.
Oh, he does actually have DRS.
Oh no!
But that is going to be a very smoking Tom
No.
Lamberts. So he's going to be to the
Still
inside,
there.
side by side. The harder compound tyre Lamberts
there.
look to the inside of turn 1. Cynic
He's still there.
trying to hold
Clear
that
right.
place.
Push now.
And he's going to
Fuck off,
keep
Tom.
it, but he's going to get a worse exit. Lamberts is going to be pushing as hard as he can. That engine is smoking though. Maybe using too much boost. Tom needs to be
He's
careful with how much
Really?
he uses at the moment.
On your right.
Going to go to the
Right side's clear.
outside. He can't use any more engine boost though. That was very, very close indeed.
The gap in front has increased.
But
It's
as
now
Cameron
about
says to me,
9.6
too much
seconds.
engine boost, the engine's going to blow. The title fight might be completely over for Lamberts at this rate if he's not
40
careful
front
with his
left
boost.
arrow. No.
come out of the Lesmo, down the back straight
I think he
towards
has
Shari.
about
Top
60
three
or
are in a
something.
world of their own, so this is the fight that we need to be focusing on for the rest of this race. We're on lap 29, nearly lap 30 of 32. So almost 3 laps to go. And down out of Ascari towards Parabolica. And can Lamberts keep that car alive? But I think he might just need to sit back, let that engine cool down.
Yeah, it's been smoking pretty much for a full lap now.
He can't drive
I
fast.
think,
As soon as he
well,
puts throttle down,
from
he's
what I
starting
know,
to smoke.
if an engine smokes that long, this is not gonna
He's all
be
over you.
very,
Keep your exit speeds up.
very
Stay
good for
smooth.
the engine, obviously.
We saw it at Silverstone. I remember with Zolt Sux actually. Just that engine smoking, and gone on that with like 2 laps to go. Well, it's 3 laps to go now. So, Tom, you've got to somehow save that engine as best you can, mate. And he might be able to do it, he might not, but this could be the one that changes everything. In the meantime, Tucson has been passed by Batala, so Yelitalo is now closing on the back of him. But it's not ideal for the Invictus guys, but it's definitely not ideal for Lamberts,
gone.
whose engine has gone! It has
Become
gone
close
with
now.
3
People
laps
inside.
to go!
He's out.
Out of the
Yes,
second
he's out.
Lesmo. He
He's
pulls
dead.
to the right at the exit of the
That's
second
before.
Lesmo.
Nice.
The engine cuts off. He retires
for
to
me.
the pit lane. And that is the title hopes of the Belgian gone for this year. 4th place will go to Henry Cynic. An amazing job by him. 5th is going to be Remits. Again, more points for Netrex in the title.
P4. There we go. It's
And they
over.
will
Bring
come
it back
across the line
round.
with Rakovic